Hey, good morning. It's Diana Opong.
And Kristen Leong. It's Wednesday. This is Seattle Now.
If your hard pants have been stuffed in the back of your drawer for the last, 18 plus months, you may be wondering, will zippers ever be a thing in my wardrobe again? And honestly, I think it's a no for me. Quarantine and social distancing kept fashionable Seattleites safe from COVID and somewhat unexpectedly impacted opportunities for self-expression through hair and clothing style. Today, we're going to hear some post-pandemic fashion predictions and explore the connection between style and identity with local designer Jamen Saziru. But first, let's get you caught up.
Seattle primary voters have spoken, and they've decided that former City Council President Bruce Harrell and current Council President Lorena Gonzalez will face each other in November to be the city's next mayor. Harrell leads with about 38% of the vote to Gonzalez's 29% after the first results. In the race for open citywide seat on the council, community organizer Nikita Oliver and Fremont Brewing owner Sarah Nelson appear to be headed for the general. And incumbent city attorney Pete Holmes is currently making it through, but by less than 600 votes. That one could change. Be sure to stay with KUOW.org for more results throughout the week.
Meanwhile, the Delta variant keeps throwing wrenches, and now, as you might expect, it's messing with people's return to work plans. Microsoft announced yesterday that it will push back its reopen date to October 4th at the earliest. The company will also require proof of vaccination for employees, as well as anybody coming to their buildings. No word of any changes for Amazonians yet. They're still expected to return to the office at least 3 days a week this fall.
And if we have any country music fans listening, we have bad news for you. Garth Brooks may not be coming to Seattle after all. Just last week, the singer announced that he was bringing his stadium tour to Lumen Field this fall. It's been 4 years since the last time he was here, but now fans may have to wait a little longer. Concert plans have been put on hold in response to surging Delta variant cases across the country.
That's a bummer. Well, now here's the hostess with the mostest, Patricia Murphy.
We're all emerging from lockdown, and some of us, well, I'll speak for myself, are wondering how the heck I'm supposed to dress after all of this. I'm not even joking. I've been rotating exactly 5 T-shirts, 2 zip-up sweatshirts, and a couple of pairs of jeans this entire time. Just ask my producers. It's been glorious. But even I know this isn't going to work for me for the long term. I'm a professional, whatever that means. And for some Seattleites, their post-pandemic style is about more than looking the part. It's about identity. For today's show, we're going to hear from a couple of Seattle style makers about the future of fashion and representation in our city. And here's a hint. You're definitely going to want to see what we're talking about. You can find some very stylish bonus photos and stories at KUOW.org/Seattle Now. Joining me today is local fashion designer Jamen Lanogwa Saziru, along with KUOW producer Kristen Leong, to talk about how our city is reckoning with pandemic style. Jamen, great to have you.
Ms. Trish, I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Honored to have you. Kristen, good to talk to you again. Speaking of fashion, you have a fantastic fashion sense. You always look great.
Oh, snap. Thanks, Trish. It's always great to be here with you.
Oh, good to have you, for real. Jamen, I am not going to lie. I relish in the socks and sandals Pacific Northwest stereotype, but I absolutely appreciate other people's style. Why are the clothes we wear an important conversation to have right now?
They're very, very important. I feel like the things you wear definitely speak for you, even if you never speak at all. So with that being said, it's very, very important. Your outward appearance results directly in how people speak to you, how people treat you. I feel like it's always a really good thing to put effort and thought into what you wear and how you wear it. And I learned that from a very young age. My parents always said, always look good wherever you go, even if you're going to bed.
I'll say this. As an older white woman now, I am more challenged in my life than I have ever been when it comes to fashion, because I really feel like I do get a pass. Like I don't have to necessarily dress up to get treated well.
No matter what your level is, your style elevates you no matter what. If you iron that shirt, you're going to be accepted a little bit differently than if you don't. kind of doesn't matter about race in this particularly, but I do see your point in which you were trying to make. Yeah.
It does feel fantastic to put on a well-fitting, good-looking outfit. I think everybody can identify with putting something on and knowing you're going where you want to be with this thing right now, and that feels good.
I mean, I don't step out on the runway every day, but when I do get fly, when I do get fly and I step out, I walk differently. My back's more erect, my chin's up, and people respond to that. Plain and simple.
You chose Seattle intentionally to start your fashion career. Why did you choose Seattle?
I'm not trying to talk trash, but let's be real. All Seattleites, they say the same thing to me. We need help. Can you help me? So it's not about trying to put Seattle down. Y'all know. Y'all need some help out here.
Yes. Yes.
Now, let's come on now.
Oh, my gosh. Like we've talked about, clothes for me are more of a spectator sport, but for a lot of people, they are a way to express their identity. And Kristen, you talked with people from Seattle's LGBTQ community, and for some people, there's a lot more to fashion than just putting on clothes, right?
Absolutely. Trish, for many of us in our queer community, style is tied so deeply to who we are. And I was thinking back to when the pandemic first started, I felt like I could hear this collective groan from masculine of center lesbians everywhere who were worried that with barbershop and salon closures, they weren't going to be able to keep up their undercuts. Lucky for my dapper wife, though, I did learn some new skills in the pandemic, and I am excellent, apparently, with a pair of clippers. But in fact, this hasn't been the case for everybody. And what we're about to hear is a clip from Spencer Bergstedt. And I should note here that Spencer is a transgender man, and he works as a consultant, making sure our workplaces are more inclusive for trans folks.
Absolutely. I think so much of how we express ourselves as queers is about how we dress, how we style our hair, what we do with our facial and body hair. We signal so much to one another through how we dress. Butches signal to femmes, femmes signal to butches, gay men signal to each other about whatever sub part of the community that they're in. And to not have that available feels like a piece of your identity has been stripped away. It's a little bit like going back in the closet, not to necessarily use clothing-related terminology, but it really is a bit like going back in the closet.
Fascinating, Kristen.
It's interesting to think about fashion being not just, this vehicle for expressing ourselves, but how we signal and connect with other people.
Right. Like I would put an outfit on to look professional, but that's about me and my job, less about me as a person. Right? Because if you want to see me as a person, check out my flip-flops and my T-shirt collection. Jamen, we are Zooming here, but describe your look for our listeners today. And what do you hope to be signaling to others with your style?
I thought you never asked. I wanted people to imagine how I look today. I guess we go from head to toe. I'm wearing a chocolate-colored, flat-brimmed fedora. The chocolate hat definitely blends in with my chocolate skin. Red dreadlocks, which is my accent piece. So even if I'm wearing all black, I still have an accent piece going on here.
They're beautiful, by the way.
Oh my gosh, thank you. No, but and it's a simple sweatshirt, pressed as always. Ripped skinny jeans, and I have on some pretty cool Air Force One. So it's a casual day. I want to look like I'm enjoying the sun with me having to walk up and tell somebody I am.
Masks became part of our looks as well for some people. And I know it helped me as an introvert. Putting on that mask actually felt very comforting for a while. And Kristen, you heard from a man in White Center whose style didn't change much over the pandemic, but masking, he discovered something about himself as well.
Okay, we're about to hear from Ryan Arnold, and I have to say, I have known Ryan for decades. He's an old friend of mine, and you have to picture Ryan before you hear his voice. Okay, shaved head, full beard, lots of tattoos. He very much looks like the skateboarder that he is. I asked Ryan how he would describe his style, and he said, I wear all black. And I was like, yeah, but what people need to understand is that it also looks like you might be on your way to do a crime at any time. So picture Ryan while you hear this clip. Apparently, the pandemic hasn't changed his ideas about fashion, but the mask mandate did have a surprising effect on him.
We were forced to wear masks, and the only way to look at somebody was full-on eye contact. I feel like that made us all more human. And did kind of made us all let our guard down a little bit when it comes to just random interactions on the street or just how you're feeling. We have eye contact. And I feel like that is making us more human, which, whether it's softer or more empathetic, whatever it is, even me, I'm a little bit softer.
I'm with Ryan on that one. I feel a little bit softer too. And I don't think we're alone. The last year and a half has had a transformative effect on a lot of people. What about you, Jamen? I know your last 2 fashion shows were canceled because of the pandemic. What has the lockdown been like for you as a creator?
I've had a lot more time to create and to be myself. Initially, when I first started, I was creating a lot of designs that I felt like were very safe, but I did have designs I had sketched and things I had in my brain. So with the last couple of years to work and elevate, I've been putting those designs that were only in my head into actual gowns and actually jackets and dresses and pants and things of that nature. And they've been accepted really well. So it built up a lot of confidence in me. It was just something about me being scared of how good I could possibly be. Now I'm at the point to where, okay, people like Jamen for what he is and not for what we think he should make for us.
That must be very freeing.
Definitely. As an artist, you want to be free. Making art is all about freedom. And I love what I do because I can create art for everyone. Because if you think about it, and not downing anybody, but if you're a painter, there's only a certain amount of people who buy paintings, but I don't know anyone who doesn't wear clothes.
Well, I think Seattle might be in for a fashion renaissance post-pandemic. And I am curious what you both think Seattle's post-pandemic style could look like.
I'm personally looking forward to Jamen leading the way here. Jamen could be our renaissance leader. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I am predicting that post-pandemic, even Seattle, but all over, that we are going to be super tailored. That after a year and a half of soft pants, we are done. We are done with that. That's my prediction.
Let's be real. There's going to be a lot of Seattleites who are set in their ways. This is who we are. We're going to wear sweatpants. We're going to go hiking. We're going to, Patagonia. We're never
Those are not mutually exclusive.
There is a huge amount of people that are ready for a change. And Kristen, I would love to be that Renaissance man.
I think that's what I'm getting from you. That it's actually more important to do well with what you like, to put it out in its best way. Iron it. I might buy an iron, Jamen. I'm not sure.
Oh, I will Venmo you. How much does it cost? I will help this out.
I haven't owned an iron or an ironing board in 21 years.
My soul is hurting.
You know my secret? This is how I do it. Oh, my gosh. I'm telling you this. You're going to fall out of your chair. I take a nice, damp washcloth, and I throw it in the dryer with the item, and I freshen it.
That sounds like a public radio fashion hack, Trish.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Let me get one piece of advice from you, Jamen, before we go. For all the people listening who are willing to put in the effort now, who have been sitting at home wearing shorts for a year, what can they do? What can they do?
It's not even hard. It's just about paying more attention and be more concerned because your look, your style says a lot.
My guests today were local fashion designer Jamen Lanogwa Saziru and KUOW producer Kristen Leong. Jamen, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Kristen, great to have you back.
Thank you, Trish. Hey, thanks for listening to the show today. If you're looking for some style inspiration, check out our Instagram to see some excellent pandemic fashion our interns captured. You can also vote and tell us if you're team hard pants, soft pants, or no pants at all. That's for work from home only, friends. We're at Seattle Now Pod. If you already follow us, be sure to tell a friend.
Kristen Leong produced today's show. Our production team is Clare McGrane, Jenny Cecil-Moore, Caroline Chamberlain-Gomez, Matt Martin, and Jason Pagano. Matt Jorgensen does our theme music. I'm Diana Opong.
And I'm Kristen Leong. See you tomorrow.